know, I try to be a very, very reasonable person at times. And one of my reasonable essentially is that I believe that there is a time and a place to be a rational person, to engage in honest dialogue, even with those that disagree with you. Because if you just stay in your own echo chamber, you're not really going to learn too much because you're just going to find that there's other people that agree with you. Not that that's a bad thing, but I like finding out like what other people have to say sometimes, even if they vote differently from me. I just feel like sometimes things like that are healthy because I just have to know what exactly is the other side saying. And what do I mean by the other side? By people that think differently from me. I do it all the time. And there are times where people on the other side of the chamber, she will let me engage with them, which is good. I'm okay with that. I think a healthy conversation like that is good. But the problem that I'm having right now is that there are some people, honestly, and I'm not saying anybody in particular, simply say because like on X today, I have been seeing morons, absolute fucking morons that are spreading misinformation and they're getting away with it. Listen, you all need to come to an understanding about something, okay? It's one thing for people to spread misinformation and get called out about it and get shamed into absolute, out of existence to where they just don't even want to come out anymore. But I think it's really, really important for us to focus on this. The fact that there are people right now that are still pushing the idea that DEI is responsible for what happened in DC. First things first, the investigation is not even fucking over with, but people are still pushing this idea that DEI is responsible for what happened. Motherfucker, none of you are part of this investigation. Nobody here, nobody, like, I don't care if it's one person or 100 people that watch this. Nobody here is involved. Nobody here can say what happened. And it's bad enough that the dipshit in chief, the fucking president, has the audacity to say, well, this is what happened, when he has not even seen a shred of evidence. It the fuck up. How fucking embarrassing is it that our own goddamn president would say this shit when he has no fucking proof to go off on this on? Yes, I am fucking mad. I would be mad if a Democrat said this shit, but it's not a Democrat that's president of the United States. The dumb motherfucker that somehow managed to get fucking reelected because people in this country are fucking incompetent. They listened to this goddamn idiot who told you that I'm going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours and didn't do it. But you listened to him. He said on day one, I will lower the price of eggs and groceries, and hasn't done it. What has he done? He is putting forth legislation that's going to put government workers out of a job. And for what? You've got motherfucking Elon Musk raiding and trying to raid the fucking public treasury. He's trying to steal the money from the American people, and nobody's saying a goddamn thing about it. What the fuck is wrong with this country? Why is our country so filled with idiots that are just letting this fucking happen? And if you're wondering why I'm so pissed off, it's because for months we have said who Donald Trump is, and you chose not to listen. We are the fucking canaries in the fucking mines, and you're not listening to us. I'll put it like this. When I see a dumbass person jump out of an airplane without a parachute as a daredevil, and you know, he's hoping that the parachute's gonna come down and he's gonna catch it. Hope it doesn't sometimes, because that's just stupid behavior. There's a reason why I don't do shit like that. I'm not a daredevil, and I think stuff like that is ridiculous. I get it. Some people do it for an adrenaline rush. Fine, whatever. But I don't do shit like that because I've already had enough risks on my life, essentially. I don't need to do shit like that anymore. But I am just so perplexed that people could be this ignorant. The thing is like, when he actually had the audacity to go on that stage and say that DEI is possibly responsible for what happened, when there's no evidence to this, this is not helping the situation. It's making it worse, because you've got idiots out there on social media that are his fucking sycophants that hinge on his every word, and they just repeat the same shit he says. But what's amazing is the fact that these people have a following. That's even worse. There are tens, even hundreds of thousands of people that listen to this shit. I'm sorry, I gotta take a drink of this because I'm so having such a hard time processing this. But like, I'm trying so hard to be good faith, but it's impossible. Fucking possible. Find out what exactly is the bright side of this. How am I supposed to like look at this and realize, yeah, you know, he might have a good point? He doesn't. This fucking guy is talking about tariffs that are going to hurt us, the consumer, in the long run. It's not a coincidence that tariff was spiked. Search of like what tariffs do, spiked after the election was over with. It's like Brexit. People voted for Brexit and didn't even know what the fuck it was. I mean, let's be honest. I don't even know 100%. Like if you were to give me like a mathematical equation, it's like, okay, what did tariffs do and stuff like that? Probably I could be able to figure out like what it does mathematically. But the thing is, every expert, especially those that work in this field, import or export, or however you want to put it, they tell you how they work. If a company from China sends us metal, let's say, for example, for roofing nails, right? When those products get sent to us, there's a certain charge that gets sent to not to the shipping people, to the port that comes into. It gets sent down to the company that's going to, which then goes to who? The end consumer, which means you, the end consumer, are going to pay more for it. But Trump, in his infinite fucking wisdom, or lack thereof, which is a lack thereof, he thinks it's going to help the economy. Not. But so many of you believe it will because Trump says it will. And it's absolutely mind-boggling how people just still listen to this absolute fucking dipshit. Why? Why are you all listening to him? And I know some people are probably going to clip this, say, this guy's got TDS. Well, motherfucker, it's because I care. Care about the direction of our country. Care about the fact that Idaho has people, motherfuckers out there that are trying to send a bill or legislation to the Supreme Court, overturn Obergefell and Hodges, which basically means marriage equality for all. What is wrong with you guys? Seriously. Gay marriage, lesbian marriage, trans marriage, it doesn't matter what. Marriage equality between consenting adults does not hurt anybody. If you're going to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, it goes against my religious principles, well, fucker, don't get goddamn gay married or whatever. Don't do it. Go on about your shitty fucking life. Go on about your life with whatever life you might have. If you're happily married in a heterosexual relationship, then fucking go do it. Seriously. But leave the people that just want to left the fuck alone. They just want to have the same happiness that we experience. We heterosexual people experience on a day-to-day basis. There are people out there like a cisgender woman married to a trans woman, happily married. They have a good, happy family, and you're trying to fuck that up simply because you read out of the Bible that it's an abomination. This is the cherry-picking bullshit that I get so fed up with. I am so sick and fucking tired of your righteousness and your fucking indignation that you think you could tell people what they should be doing and how they should be living according to your fucking rules. And I don't care what religion it is. If you use your religion to tell people how they should live, your religion sucks. It's that simple. It fucking sucks. And you, as a human being, fucking suck. I don't tell you guys how to fucking live. I don't say you shouldn't believe in A, B, or C. I shouldn't tell you what religion you should follow. I want people to be left the fuck alone. But y'all can't have that shit. Oh no. You are so unbelievably concerned that gay people are going to come in and terrorize your schools. You are so scared of Drag Queen Story Hour. You are so scared of books indoctrinating children. Oh my fucking God. Y'all have done more to ban books and protect children than what the leading cause of the death of children is, which is firearms. Firearms. Now, I'm saying this as a fucking gun owner. And I am just so irritated that you all have the audacity to blame the LGBTQ plus community for your insecurities. It's not my fault that you are so scared of something you do not understand. But I know people are gonna be like, oh, well, you know, I just don't want a man competing against my daughter in school. The last time I checked, out of like the, I don't know, 500,000 student athletes, you know how many like trans athletes there are? Maybe 20? But you're so worried about a problem that is not systemic, it is not an issue, it is not plaguing society, essentially. Time for another drink. I am fucking irritated. But this is what you're worried about. These are where your priorities lie. It's not because you're actually concerned about the welfare of children. If you cared about the welfare of children, you'd be focusing on the biggest fucking issues. Making sure that they actually have good lunches. Make sure there's adequate school lunches. Making sure that they're like not going hungry every single day. Making sure that they actually have an understanding of like certain issues. I mean, let's be honest here. Children that learn about things like slavery is not going to indoctrinate them. It's not going to make them hate them. I'll put it to you like this. If a teacher is teaching a class like about, say, for example, slavery, and they're basically making white students feel sorry for themselves or hateful or resentful to themselves or like put them on a guilt trip, teacher is a bad fucking teacher, flat out. I have no problem saying that, though, too. That's progressive. But it has to be taught. We have to come to understanding about something. History is not meant to be politically correct. History is actually meant to teach the story of like what actually took place in society, because there are many things that within our history that I knew nothing about. Like, for example, Black Wall Street. You know how some people learned about Black Wall Street? A show. Watchmen. That's how people are learning about history. There are black people that grew up in Tulsa that didn't know that Black Wall Street actually happened. It was where people were massacred. Black people were massacred in their own country. For no fucking good reason whatsoever. But it's not taught in school. And if you are so concerned about like black people learning about this because you're afraid that they're going to rise up, obviously I would say you're a racist because you're obviously saying that black people are not mature enough to learn about their history. I think we should all be mature enough to learn about like what the story of history is essentially. But it's because like at times we are too sensitive and we are just afraid about like what people might think. Well, motherfucker, have you actually tried to take the time to actually teach like what this history actually is, or like what makes this history better, or not necessarily better, but like if you teach history exactly as it is, context, not gonna like you don't have to give all the details. But you can actually give like a 3,000 foot view of it, teach it to where people understand because those that don't learn history are doomed to repeat it. That's simple. But it's just, I'm finding it really, really hard to believe that things like this are going to indoctrinate children and they're just going to like start hating themselves. I don't believe that for a second. Again, I will double down on this. If children are being taught to hate themselves, then yeah, the teacher is at fault. As someone that's been an instructor, I can definitely tell you the most important people in the classroom is the student. Because every student in that classroom, different level. Sense. Because, I mean, we'll have to be honest about something. Not every student learns speed. And this is coming from somebody that has auditory processing. Sometimes I require a little bit more direction. Sometimes I require a little bit more, not sensitivity, but it's just like there are some times like where you might tell me something and I'm not going to get it the first time. You kind of have to explain it different ways in order for me to. It's just how I'm built. It's how I'm wired. I accept this. This is why I say I am not the brightest bulb in the box. I say it all the time. No problem saying this. There's nothing wrong with admitting when you're just like not all there in the head. It's how I'm wired. I don't give a shit. The thing is, like, this is why teachers are essential. They are important. But they have to understand the students that they're teaching as well. You know, teachers are very undervalued in society because, I don't want to get off a topic too much, but it's like they're actually now trying to pass legislation to get rid of the Department of Education because they want states to have control over what taught in schools. Already is in the control of the states. States have complete control of what's being taught in their curriculum. But, just these evangelicals, they want creationism taught in school because Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve kind of deal. Assholes. As I was saying. But the thing is, like, when it comes down to teaching, I have to know how to get through to students. Because people in a developing age, they are learning always. And I'm a firm believer that you never ever stop learning in life. I'm almost 42 years old. I'm still learning stuff. It's even more essential for those that are in grade school, middle school, and high school. They're always learning stuff. Teachers have got to be teaching correct material. I mean, whether it's reading, writing, arithmetic, I don't care. Doesn't matter what it is. Because this is country. I know I've got nothing. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because you've got idiots out there that think that children are in danger of books. They will say that they're in danger of learning about Harriet Tubman, Underground Railroad. They'll have people out there that actually have the audacity to say this wokeism stuff is poisoning our children. I mean, you'll see conservative people moving heaven and earth. Make sure that books are taken out of libraries. Don't even have these fucking books. When it comes down to a school shooting, though, thoughts and prayers. We'll pray for those involved and not do a goddamn thing about it. How dare we actually say thoughts and prayers after events like this? Do you not realize that thoughts and prayers don't do a fucking thing, actually? If thoughts and prayers actually worked, This situation could have been solved a long time ago, but it hasn't. It hasn't solved a fucking thing. And if you're dumb enough to actually think that thoughts and prayers works, I feel sorry for you. I mean, the only thing that's going to solve that is actually putting some good common sense and legislation forward that'll actually make sure that lunatics aren't out there buying guns. Because I will double down and I will die on this hill. No pun intended. Or hope I don't die. But not everybody in this country should own a firearm. I say it and I'll say it again. Not everybody in this fucking country should own firearms. If you want to challenge me on this, you are more than welcome to do so. I don't give a shit. Though, because I'm not going to be on longer. So, for those interested, I'm actually drinking rum that my wife bought from Costco. It's actually tasty, actually. But it's just I gotta come back to this. Just irritated as all get out, because when Trump first became president in 2017, I gave him a solid year. Know too much about him. Sure if he was gonna just fuck the whole thing up, or if he was actually gonna grow the fuck up and act. And nobody was wrong, but he did. When he left office, I listened to at least 7 books. 7. I've listened to the Trump tape every time. Bob Woodward. Did y'all know that he actually tried to sue Bob Woodward? Simon and Schuster. Actually, it was actually Simon and Schuster. Because of some things that he was quoted on in that book. Because Bob Woodward, every single time they had a conversation, he says, "Listen, I want you to know I'm recording you." Trump's just like, "Hey, whatever." Fact of the matter is, Trump, not a leader. Horrible human. He's without a doubt probably the worst president in lifetime. And once this term is over with, he's going to be the worst president in. And here's the thing. I didn't even think he was the worst as president in history. I said it was Andrew Johnson. Multiple. But by the end of this administration, Trump is definitely going to be the worst president in history. People are trying to tell me how Joe Biden was the worst. Much like this. Joe Biden isn't the greatest president in the history of the country. I will say it to you flat out. I would say he was most consequential. I would say that there were a lot of tough decisions he had to make. They didn't always go well. The fact of the matter is, he never made a joke about it. He never mocked, ceased. He never made a mockery of a tragedy. He didn't do any of that shit. But for some reason, when this motherfucker Trump does, he gets a pass. I just am so fucking pissed by the fact that there are so many people in this country that give him a pass. They seem to think that like what he does is acceptable, or they're too much of a coward to just flat out denounce him for it. I don't know if it's out of fear or something. Because again, I'm always expected to be the one to denounce my side. But why the fuck should I denounce my side when they fuck up on things? Our side is actually willing to hold people accountable. Like Bob Menendez, a Democrat, was just sentenced to 11 years in prison. That sounds like accountability on the side of the Democratic Party. Nobody tried to run cover for him. Nobody tried to denounce. Nobody tried to say, "Oh, well, you're taking it out of context." Motherfucker was sentenced to 11 years in prison. That's a good thing, because we don't like people. Then we try to talk about people like Matt Gaetz, sex pest. Yes, I said it, a fucking sex pest. And you know what? If he fucking hears, "Matt Gaetz, you're a fucking sex pest. You're a piece of shit." I said it. And I will stand by it too. Want to take me to court? Fucking sue me. Go for it. I don't give a shit. But the thing is you got guys like him, they run cover for him. Why? Because he's loyal to Trump. That's why. They run cover for him because he's loyal to Trump. I want to talk about a true banana republic. This is public. This is deep state in work. I mean, since 2017, dipshit Trump has always talked about deep state, the deep state. You know, talked about this shadow government that's working behind the scenes, influencing elections, that is buying influence. I said this in one of my earlier videos that's what they said the deep state is. Deep state is right here, government right now. Elon Musk, richest man in the entire world, is cleaning house. He has no authority to do so. They are sending out emails to government workers, offering people a chance to, you know, seek employment elsewhere. But it gets worse. It gets much, much more. Just wait. They sent out Q&As, people that work for the government. One of the questions is, am I allowed to get a second job during the deferred resignation period? This is the resignation period that they put out. Now, I want y'all to understand something. That organization that sent this email out has no fucking authority to tell people to seek employment elsewhere, and they don't have the authority to fire people. But because there's such limbo out there, and because there are so many people out there that have no idea what to do next, because we are entering the twilight zone. We have no idea what to expect to next. But anyway, here's the question. Am I allowed to get a second job during the deferred resignation period? That's what they're talking about. The answer is absolutely. We encourage you to find a job in the private sector as soon as you would like to do so. Way to greater American prosperity is encouraging people to move from lower productivity jobs in the public sector to higher productivity jobs in the private sector. Condescending is that? Where the fuck does Elon Musk get the balls to talk about what lower productivity is? Where does he get the balls to say things like that? Thing is, you can't challenge somebody like Elon Musk because he gets all up in his fucking feelings and he can't handle it. I mean, I could rant about this for hours on end, but I just don't feel like it right now. Tired. I mean, it's 12:30 right now, my time. Thing is that Elon Musk and right now he is continuing to like clean house. He's getting rid of government positions. He is not going to help this country. I get this feeling they're going to like start outsourcing shit to like third world nations because it's cheaper. I get this feeling like with all these migrants getting shipped out, they're going to replace it with prison labor because it's cheaper. This is what I feel like we're going toward. I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, but this is just like this feeling I get. Because when you live in a society that prioritizes profits over people, you know that this is where we're heading toward. I have no doubt that they're actually going to utilize prison labor, possibly for field labor. That's possibly what's coming up next. I mean, don't quote me on this, but that's just a prediction. And I hope to God I'm wrong. I really do. But this is where I see them heading towards. It's bad enough that, you know, you've got Trump actually having people sign loyalty pledges in order to work at the White House. But if you have to have people sign loyalty pledges work for you, you obviously don't deserve to be in your position of power. Not a respected person. I mean, I'll be honest. I have fucked up many times. There have been many times I have failed people when I was in the army. Peter, I own that 100%. And I don't know if people ever forgive me the fact that I failed them, but I truly do know I failed them. I always tried to. Guy won't know how to do that. He just wants your loyalty because he's an insecure man child. He is incapable of actually exercising the slightest bit of empathy, slightest bit of rationality. It, he is not a leader of character, integrity. He's not a leader. He's a fucking piece of shit. God damn it. I just feel like I'm gonna get angry all over again. I'm trying not to be fucking angry, but I can't fucking help myself. Holy shit. But the fact of the matter is that like our country is heading in the wrong goddamn direction. There are people out there that are gonna be stupid enough, and there are people out there like our ex, like there are web accounts by like Brano, Gunther Egelman, whose real name is David Feely or whatever, failed cop. I don't care if he mad at me about this. I call him out by name. You know, you got all these fucking numbnuts like Tim Pool, all these jackasses that just kiss the fucking rear end of Donald Trump because they want that clout. You got these assholes out there that are actually wanting to be on in the press corps because they want to be at the White House briefings and whatnot. It's because they don't give a flying fuck about the rest of the country. They only care about themselves. And listen, I'm small time. I admit this. I accept this. But the thing is, I'm always going to be honest, and I'm not going to compromise myself or my integrity just for the sake of like more viewers or more clicks. I'm always going to be straight up and honest about these things. And if people just want to come after me and say I'm a fucking PDS whiny liberal, fine, fuck it. You are welcome to take me on at any point. We can have a conversation. It doesn't have to be an angry debate. I will take anybody on. It doesn't fucking matter. I will challenge anybody to a discussion about like what it means to be rational, even if it leads to my own embarrassment. I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. I'm doing this because I have to stand for something. I'm not just gonna sit back and just and think that things are gonna get better. I stand by what I believe in. I stand to my convictions. And the great Churchill once said, "Oh, you had enemies? Well, good. That means you actually stood." But half these guys that vote conservative stand for nothing. One person. That's pathetic. That is sad. That's the saddest thing I've ever fucking heard. So, if you hear me out there, you want to talk to me about this, or if you want me to do a debate on this, fine. In order to find me, you can find me on X, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me anywhere. I don't give a shit. You can find me on Discord. I'm on there too. Just send me a message. I don't care. But so that you have your facts in line. Because half the time when I talk to people that are Trump supporters, they don't have their facts in order. They don't have their facts in line. They just talk out their ass and say, "Oh, we ain't, Donald Trump, greatest economy in the entire world." Not true. He's the president of peace. Also not true. But it's whatever Donald Trump says. I've been ranting on this for like half an hour. I'm tired, so I don't care if people like this or hate this. I don't care if you have a problem with this. I'm saying what's on my mind because it's true. I'm not just saying this because like I fucking feel like it. I'm not saying this for my fucking health. I would actually like enjoy my life, but for the next 4 years, I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm worried at times that I'm going to sign a loyalty pledge just to get my fucking. That's going to happen. I hope not. But I just had to get this on my chest because I worry about the future of our country because we are basically putting our trust into the hands of a fucking man. Shit. Dumbest motherfucker that's ever in office. I'll probably do another live tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I may or may not do lives every weekend or every day. I haven't decided yet. I don't know where this is gonna go. It's always a work in progress. I'm sorry. If you haven't done so already, please like and share. And again, if you want to talk to me about these issues, you're welcome to do so. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are going to want to talk to me about it. Not going to say nothing. They're just going to just talk shit about me behind the closed doors because they have no fucking courage. That's fine. Just fucking go on about your day. Do what you got to do. But if you actually want to talk to me about this, whether it's on my platform or your platform, you know where to find me. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great rest of their day and has a great weekend.